Mike Tyson is in the third round of his heavyweight championship rematch against Evander Holyfield, when he does something that changes boxing forever. Something nobody saw coming. Something so shocking that 25 years later, people still can't believe it happened. In 40 seconds, Mike Tyson goes from fighting for redemption to creating the most infamous moment in boxing history. And what happens next doesn't just end his career as champion. It ends Mike Tyson as we knew him. Las Vegas, Nevada. The 28th of June, 1997, Saturday night. The MGM Grand Garden Arena. The air is electric. This is the rematch everyone's been waiting for. Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield. The sound and the fury. Though after tonight, it'll be known by a different name. The Bite Fight. 7 months ago, November 1996, these two men fought for the first time. Everyone expected Mike to destroy Holyfield. Mike was the former undisputed champion trying to reclaim his throne. Holyfield was the older fighter, the underdog, the man people thought was past his prime. But Holyfield shocked the world, stopped Mike in the 11th round, took his WBA title, embarrassed him on the biggest stage. That loss destroyed Mike, not physically, psychologically. Mike Tyson doesn't lose, doesn't get dominated, except he did, and the whole world watched. Tonight is redemption. Tonight, Mike proves that first fight was a fluke, that he's still the baddest man on the planet, that Holyfield got lucky. Tonight, he takes back what's his, except it's not going that way, not at all. Round 1 starts. Holyfield comes out calm, focused, in control. Mike comes out wild. Aggressive, but not precise. He's throwing punches without setup, without strategy, just rage looking for a target. Holyfield slips them, counters them, makes Mike miss, makes Mike look ordinary. By the end of round 1, the crowd is chanting, but not for Mike. They're cheering for Holyfield. They're turning on Iron Mike. In his own country, in Las Vegas, they're cheering for his opponent, for the man who embarrassed him 7 months ago. Mike goes back to his corner. His team tries to calm him down, tries to get him focused, but Mike isn't listening. He's staring across the ring at Holyfield. That calm face, that confidence, that lack of fear. It's eating at Mike, making him angrier. Round 2 begins. Mike tries to be more calculated, more patient, but Holyfield won't let him, keeps pressuring, keeps landing. And then it happens. The two men clinch. Their heads come together. Contact. Mike's eye. Above his right eyebrow, a cut opens. Blood starts flowing. Referee Mills Lane separates them, examines Mike's eye, calls it an accidental headbutt. Accidental. That word echoes in Mike's head. Mike knows boxing. He's been headbutted before. That wasn't accidental. Holyfield did it on purpose, targeted his eye. This is the same thing Holyfield did in the first fight. Used his head as a weapon. Got away with it then. Getting away with it now. Mike looks at Lane. Says, "He butted me." Lane waves him off. Accidental. Fight. The round continues. Mike is furious. His eye is bleeding. His vision is compromised. And the referee isn't doing anything about it. Isn't protecting him. Isn't taking points. Isn't warning Holyfield. Just letting it happen. Mike's mind is racing. Thoughts competing. Rage building. This is my career. I've got children to raise. He keeps butting me. Nobody's stopping him. Nobody's protecting me. I have to protect myself. Round 2 ends. Mike goes to his corner. His team works on the cut, but it's not just the cut that needs attention. It's his mind. Mike is gone. Checked out. The fighter Custamato trained. The disciplined warrior. He's left the building. What's sitting in that corner is something else. Something primal. Something dangerous. Round 3 is about to start. Mike stands up, walks to the center, but he doesn't have his mouthpiece in. Lane notices immediately. Lane says, "Where's your mouthpiece?" Mike doesn't respond, just stands there. Lane points to Mike's corner. "Get your mouthpiece. Now." Mike walks back, gets his mouthpiece, puts it in, but something in Lane's eyes shifts. He's seen a lot of fights, a lot of fighters. Something is off about Mike right now. Something wrong. But the round needs to start. The show must go on. The bell rings. Round 3 begins. Mike comes out aggressive, throwing combinations, trying to hurt Holyfield, trying to take his head off. But Holyfield is too smart, too experienced, too prepared. He weaves, he blocks, he counters, making Mike pay for his wild aggression. 40 seconds left in the round. The two men clinch, bodies pressed together, arms tangled. This is normal, happens dozens of times in every fight. Fighters reset, catch their breath. Referee breaks them apart. Standard procedure. Except this time is different. Mike's head is above Holyfield's shoulder. His mouth is near Holyfield's ear. And Mike makes a decision that will define him forever, a decision he'll regret and defend for the rest of his life. Mike opens his mouth and bites down, hard, on Holyfield's right ear. The top part. Mike's teeth sink in. Through skin, through cartilage. He bites with everything he has, then pulls back, rips. A 1-inch piece of Holyfield's ear comes off, completely off, in Mike's mouth. Mike spits it out. The piece of ear lands on the ring apron. A chunk of another human being, just lying there. Holyfield feels it. The pain registers. Delayed, like his brain can't process what just happened. Then it hits. He leaps into the air, literally jumps, spins in a circle. His hand goes to his ear, comes away covered in blood. He's screaming, not words, just sound, pure pain and shock. The crowd gasps. 20,000 people. One unified sound. Disbelief, horror, confusion. What just happened? Did Mike Tyson just bite Evander Holyfield's ear off? Lane stops the fight. Immediately. Steps between them. But Mike isn't done. Mike rushes forward, from behind, shoves Holyfield toward his corner. Aggressive. Still trying to fight. Still in attack mode. Lane grabs Mike. Physically moves him to a neutral corner. Then goes to check on Holyfield. The ringside doctor is already climbing into the ring, examining the ear. Blood is pouring down Holyfield's face, down his neck, onto his shoulder. The ear is mangled, partially gone. This isn't a cut. This isn't a bruise. This is mutilation. Lane calls Mark Ratner, chairman of Nevada's Athletic Commission, to the ring apron. Says, "He bit his ear off. I'm going to disqualify him." But the ringside doctor, Flip Homansky, examines Holyfield, checks if he can continue. Incredibly, Holyfield wants to keep fighting. The doctor clears him, says he's okay to continue. Lane makes a decision. He'll let the fight go on. But Mike gets a 2-point deduction, maximum penalty for an intentional foul. Lane walks to Mike's corner, explains the penalty. Mike's trainer tries to argue, tries to say it was a punch, that Holyfield's ear was damaged from a punch. Lane looks at him, dead serious. Says, "Bullshit." One word, no negotiation, no debate. Lane knows what he saw. Everyone knows what they saw. The fight resumes, 30 seconds left in the round. The two men go back to fighting. But Mike isn't trying to box anymore. He's trying to hurt, trying to damage, trying to end this however he can. They clinch again. And Mike does it again. Bites Holyfield's left ear. This time doesn't get a piece. Just scarring, just teeth marks. But it's another bite. Another deliberate act of violence outside the rules. Holyfield throws his arms up, escapes the clinch, jumps back. Can't believe it happened twice. His face shows everything. Shock, anger, disgust. The bell rings. Round 3 ends. Both fighters go to their corners. But Lane isn't done. He's seen enough. He walks over to Holyfield's corner, examines both ears, confirms what happened. Then he makes the call. Lane walks to center ring, waves his arms. Fight over. He's disqualifying Mike Tyson, ending the fight, taking the decision out of the fighter's hands. The arena erupts. Not cheering, chaos, confusion, anger, people throwing things, beer, programs, debris raining down from the stands. Police rush into the ring, forming barriers, keeping the two fighters apart. Mike snaps, tries to get at Holyfield's corner. His trainer, Tommy Brooks. Mike wants to fight everyone. Security surrounds him. He swings at a police officer, has to be physically restrained, escorted out. 25 minutes later, announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. makes it official, reads the decision to the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 3. The referee in charge, Mills Lane, disqualifies Mike Tyson for biting Evander Holyfield in both ears. The winner by way of disqualification and still the WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Evander "The Real Deal" Holyfield. Holyfield remains champion. Mike Tyson becomes infamous. The aftermath is brutal. Nevada State Athletic Commission revokes Mike's boxing license, fines him $3 million, 10% of his purse, the maximum penalty allowed. His $30 million payday? Withheld. Under review. Eventually, most of it gone. Legal fees, fines, settlements. Mike holds a press conference, tries to explain, says, "He butted me in the second round, and he looked at me and butted me again. No one deducted points. This is my career. What am I supposed to do? I've got children to raise. He kept butting me." The world doesn't buy it, doesn't care about his justification, doesn't care about the headbutts. What they saw was savagery. What they saw was a man who lost control, who bit another human being, twice, in front of 20,000 people and millions watching on television. Mike Tyson's reputation is destroyed, not as a fighter, as a person. He becomes a punchline, a cautionary tale. The man who bit someone's ear off. Everything else in his career. Everything he accomplished. Overshadowed by 40 seconds in round 3. Months pass. October 1998. The Athletic Commission holds a hearing, reviews Mike's case, votes to reinstate his boxing license. He can fight again. But something is broken. Mike gets a few more fights, even wins some, but he's never champion again, never undisputed, never feared the way he once was. The mystique is gone. The aura is shattered. Years pass. Many years. Mike retires in 2005. Broken, addicted to drugs, filing for bankruptcy. His life is a mess. The money gone. The glory gone. The respect gone. He has to rebuild, not his career, himself, and slowly, painfully, he does. Gets sober, gets therapy, gets honest about his demons, about his mistakes, about that night in 1997. In 2008, he releases a documentary called Tyson, Raw, Honest, Painful. He talks about the bite, about what he was feeling. Mike says, "I got very frustrated and discouraged. He was headbutting me, and I was really mad, and I didn't know what to do. I just exploded and I bit his ear." Later, in 2020, he gets even more honest. Says, "I bit him because I wanted to kill him. I was really mad about my head being bumped. I really lost consciousness of the whole fight. It took me out of my fight plan and everything." Those words, "I wanted to kill him." That's the truth. In that moment, Mike wasn't trying to win a boxing match. He was trying to hurt, to destroy, to punish. He lost himself completely. But here's where the story takes a turn. A redemption. In 2009, Mike and Evander appear together on The Oprah Winfrey Show, face to face, for the first time since that night. They talk. They listen. They start healing. Holyfield says he's forgiven Mike. Not sure if Mike is truly sorry, but he's forgiven him anyway, because holding on to anger hurts the person holding it, not the person it's aimed at. Mike apologizes, genuinely, not making excuses, just owning what he did, acknowledging the pain he caused. The years continue. The relationship grows. In 2022, something incredible happens. Mike and Evander team up, start a business together, selling cannabis edibles. Through Mike's company, Tyson 2. The product? Holy ears, ear-shaped gummies, with a bite taken out of them. They even create a comedic Christmas advertisement together, making light of that dark night 25 years ago. Think about that. The man whose ear was bitten off, and the man who bit it. Now friends, now business partners, now laughing together about the worst moment of both their lives. Mike Tyson today talks about that night differently. Not with pride, not with shame, with understanding. He says if Holyfield headbutts him again like that, he might bite him again, half joking, half serious, but mostly just honest about who he was, who he can be when pushed. The lesson isn't that biting is acceptable. It's not. The lesson is that people can change, can grow, can find redemption even after doing something unforgivable. Mike lost everything that night. His title, his reputation, his self-respect. But in losing everything, he eventually found something more important. Humility, self-awareness, the ability to own his mistakes and move forward. Who in your life have you hurt in a moment of rage? Who deserves your apology? Because Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield show us that forgiveness is possible, that redemption is real, that two men who should hate each other forever can instead heal together. The most infamous moment in boxing history isn't just about a bite. It's about what comes after. It's about falling from grace so completely that you have no choice but to rebuild yourself from scratch. It's about the man whose ear was bitten choosing mercy over revenge, choosing forgiveness over bitterness. 25 years later, they're selling ear-shaped gummies together, making commercials, making people laugh, turning tragedy into comedy, turning hate into friendship. That's not just redemption, that's transformation. Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear off in 1997. That's a fact. That happened. But that's not the end of the story. The end of the story is two men, decades later, choosing peace over war, choosing business partnership over grudges, choosing laughter over pain. That's the real knockout, not the bite, the forgiveness that came after.